Hey, this is Dave from Unipro, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to grow your business using Facebook Messenger. Specifically, we're going to take a look at how to get more cold leads over into Messenger and how to convert those cold leads into paying clients. And the best part is this is a zero spam strategy. We're going to be doing exactly what Facebook wants you to do in order to make sales and grow your business through Facebook Messenger. So let's dive in. So you're building an audience on Facebook, you're looking to grow your business, and you've been really consistent at putting out content. But that content doesn't seem to be leading to sales. And here's one of the reasons why is one of the strategies that used to work really well on Facebook is you could build your audience, create content. When people would see your content, they could click a link like this and go over to your sales page or your sales funnel or your website, and then they'd make a purchase. But Facebook doesn't work that way anymore. And I'll show you down here, you can see that this post, it's got one lonely like, no comments, no shares. And a big part of the reason is as soon as you start including, these are called external links, links that take people off of Facebook. As soon as you start including these inside of your post reach dramatically diminishes. Facebook doesn't want to show your content to people if your content is driving people outside of Facebook. And this is a problem. How are you supposed to make sales if you can't use your content on Facebook to take people over to your website or into your sales funnel? Well, the answer is Facebook Messenger. You see, Facebook Messenger acts as a bridge between your content and your sales. And there's a very specific process that you can leverage to make sure that Messenger is leading to lots of revenue for your business. So let's take a look at the steps together. But before we get started, it's very important to mention that selling in Messenger is best done through a professional mode profile, not a business page. Let me show you why. I'm over on one of my business pages here, and let's scroll down to this post, and you'll see that there are a few people who engage with this particular post. I'm going to click on this, and you're going to see that I've got Rory here. Let's click on Rory. And when I go over to Rory's profile, you'll notice something. What are my options? Well, my option presented here is simply to follow Rory. I can't initiate a Messenger conversation with him. Well, why not? The answer is because Facebook business pages can't start Messenger conversations with leads. They can only respond when leads message them. And that's a big problem. You're not going to be able to reach out to your leads if you try and use your business page to sell in Messenger. That's why you want to be using a Facebook profile, ideally set to professional mode. Let me show you over on my profile. So I'm over on my personal profile here, and I'm going to go click on these three dots, and you'll see that down here it says turn off professional mode. This just shows that I've already got professional mode turned on. And professional mode is basically me saying that I'm using my personal profile for business purposes on Facebook. This is exactly what Facebook wants you to do. So you can go over here and turn on professional mode, and now you're going to be able to initiate conversations inside of Messenger with all your leads. This is exactly what you want to be able to do. So now that you understand why you want to be using a profile instead of a business page for selling inside of Messenger, let's take a look at the 5 steps that you need to follow. The first step is send a friend request first. Imagine you meet a lead on Facebook and you want to strike up a conversation in Messenger, hoping to make a sale. Before you send that first message inside of Messenger, it's crucial that you send them a friend request. And I'm going to show you why. I'm over in Messenger here, and I'm going to look at all my Messenger conversations. So here's where your normal chats inside of Messenger happen. And so if you send a message to one of your friends, this is where that message will show up. However, if you send a Messenger message to someone who's not yet your friend, here's where it goes. It goes into the dreaded message request folder. And here's a list of all these strangers who have sent me messages inside of Messenger, and I never see any of these unless I specifically go hunting for them. You don't want your messages to get lost in a message request folder, so make sure you send a friend request before you send a message in Messenger. That's one reason. The second reason why it's so important to send a friend request before you start up a conversation in Messenger is you want to avoid any red flags on your Facebook account. Well, what do I mean by that? Imagine you started finding leads on Facebook and you started sending messages to all those leads before you sent them a friend request. All of your messages are going into people's message request folder. Facebook sees that you're sending all these messages to people who you don't even know. Those messages are getting buried. Those people aren't responding to your messages. And just think about what this looks like for your Facebook account. Frankly, it looks like you're a spammer, and there's a high likelihood that Facebook's going to restrict your account. That's the second reason why it's so important that you send friend requests 2 new leads before you strike up a Messenger conversation. That's step number 1. Step number 2 is to initiate the conversation. Let me show you an example here. So Sandra is someone who I sent a friend request to because I think she might be interested in what it is I have to offer. Once she accepted my friend request, then I initiated the conversation in Messenger. Because we're friends, I know that my message went directly into her inbox, not into the message request folder. And then I started up the conversation. You'll see here I said, "Nice to connect with you, Sandra. Hope you're enjoying your day." Now there are 3 important principles to follow when you initiate conversations. The first is to be consistent. Every single lead who you become friends with, you need to initiate that first message. It's very unlikely that a lead's going to strike up a conversation with you. You need to be proactive. You have to start the conversation. Be consistent. Second is be friendly. Take a look at my message over here. Notice I'm just being friendly and I personalized it. I'm not making a sales pitch. I'm not saying anything weird. I'm not making Sandra feel uncomfortable. I'm just being friendly. And the third thing you need to do when you initiate these conversations is be gone. Here's what you want to avoid. I started this conversation with Jose here. Jose came back and said, thanks for reaching out. And then he unloaded on me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 messages, including a link over to something for me to purchase. This is exactly what you want to avoid in Messenger. You want to be consistent, starting Messenger conversations with all your new leads. You want to be friendly, and then you want to be gone. Keep it short and sweet, no sales pitches. Now, of course, if someone shows interest in having a conversation with you and they look really engaged, you can continue that conversation and see if there's a way that you can help them immediately. However, you are going to get a lot of unresponsive leads. Let's go back over to Sandra here. You'll notice that she didn't respond to my initial message. Don't worry, I'm going to show you a strategy in a second that's going to allow you to get back into conversation with these leads. So that's step number 2, start the conversation. You need to initiate inside of Messenger. Step number 3 is to build rapport with your new leads. Build rapport. Let me show you an example. Here's Sandra, that lead who I struck up a conversation with. Here's a post that she made, and notice down here, you'll see that I've already liked her post. Well, why did I do that? 2 reasons. Number 1 is I simply want to support Sandra. When she sees that I liked her content, she's going to feel good. She's going to have warm feelings towards me. The second reason is for purposes of the algorithm. When I engage on Sandra's content, I know that the Facebook algorithm is going to take my content and show it to Sandra. This is hugely important. We're going to use this to your advantage in just a second. So it's very important that you build rapport by engaging on your lead's content. So that's step number 3, build rapport. Step number 4 is to create engaging content. And you might be thinking, Dave, I thought this was all about Messenger. It is. We're going to lead back into Messenger in just a second. But remember, these are still relatively cold leads. At this point, all you've done is become friends with them and reached out in Messenger. In most cases, that relationship needs to be nurtured a little bit more before a sale can actually be made. Let me show you another example going back to Sandra. Remember that she didn't respond to my initial message here. However, when I posted this piece of content, anyone want help growing one of their Facebook groups? No cost, just sharing. Remember when I was building rapport and I liked Sandra's content, I knew that Facebook would show my content to her, and inevitably she did. Let's scroll down here and I'm going to look for the conversation with Sandra. Let me open this up. And there she is right there. So while she didn't respond to my Messenger outreach, the Facebook algorithm was sparked. She saw my engaging content and she engaged on it. Now, this is very important. At this point, you're not chasing your leads. They've seen your content, they've engaged, and now they're showing interest in what you have to offer. They want something from you. And so in this case, Sandra says, yes, she wants help growing one of her Facebook groups. This is opening up the door for me to restart a Messenger conversation with her. Let's go back to Messenger. She didn't respond to my initial message, but then she saw my content. She said, yes, I'm interested in that thing you have to offer. And so I sent her a follow-up message. Now for me, I'm still not making her an offer to buy anything yet. I'm simply nurturing the relationship, but you could make an offer. Once a lead shows interest in your content, definitely go back into Messenger and begin working towards making a sale. In this case, I told Sandra that the resource she's looking for is over inside of this Facebook group. And notice again, Sandra didn't respond. She simply gave my message a heart. And so it might look like Sandra's not that interested. However, check this out. I'm going to go over into my Facebook group, Audience and Influence, where I told Sandra to access the resource she was interested in. And I go over to the Members tab here and I search for her name. And lo and behold, Sandra joined on Monday. And this is exciting. Think, we went from having a cold lead who we sent a friend request to. Then we initiated the conversation in Messenger. We engaged on their content to build some rapport. They started seeing our content. They engaged. We went back into Messenger, re-struck up the conversation inside of Messenger, either continued for the sales pitch inside of Messenger, or in this case, continued nurturing by sending this person over into a Facebook group. Pretty powerful, right? Well, now it's time to move on to step number 5, which is actually closing that sale. At this point, now that Sandra has joined my Facebook group, I know she's at least interested in what it is I have to offer. I know that we built up some rapport. I know that there's been some trust established. So there's a couple different directions I can go in order to make the sale. But before we close the sale, I want to make mention, if you have a Facebook group and you would like to add new members to your Facebook group so that you can nurture your leads more quickly, I recorded an entire training showing how we're adding thousands of members to any Facebook group 100% for free. I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can access the training and apply it to your Facebook group. So now let's look at 3 ways to actually close the sale. I'm going to go back over into Messenger with a different conversation I've got here with Wasim. And you notice in this case, I sent out my introductory message. So I initiated the conversation. He came back. So in this case, remember I said, if someone shows interest, what do? You carry on the conversation to make the offer. And you'll see there's some back and forths. And then I made him an offer right inside of Messenger to join our UniPro program. And so this is an example of making a quick offer right inside of Messenger. I'm going to show you another option here. I'm going to go over to a different conversation. In this case, I'm talking to June. Again, I initiated the conversation. She came back, and you'll see that there's a bunch of back and forths where June's asking about content. I'm sending her content back and forth. This is what we call a slow play. You'll see she's consumed a lot of the resources I put out. And down here, she says, "Hi, Dave. I'm waiting to be accepted into the Unipro group. Thanks." And because I provided so much value inside of Messenger, this particular lead went and decided to make a purchase all on their own. That's an example of a slow play, and that happens to be my preferred way to sell inside of Messenger. Here's a third potential outcome from your conversations in Messenger. So here's Jason. I initiate the conversation with Jason. "Hey, Jason, great to connect with you. Hope you're having a good day." Jason comes back and says, "What's the pitch?" This is someone who's a skeptic. Now, at this point, you do not want to continue with a sales pitch. He's already shown that he's skeptical. If you try and pitch, you're going to be chasing. And when you chase a lead, you chase the lead away. So instead, in these situations, I do nothing. I let the Facebook algorithm do our trick that we talked about earlier. I let my engaging content warm up Jason. And then when he comes back to me after showing interest, then I can carry on this conversation. You never want to chase a skeptic. Let them come back to you. So as a recap, here are the 5 steps that you can use to sell in Messenger. First, you need to send a friend request before you initiate a Messenger. Second, once a lead accepts your friend request, start that Messenger conversation. Third, build rapport by engaging on their content so that they see more of your content. Fourth, post engaging content so those leads who aren't yet engaging with you in Messenger are going to show interest, and then you have a reason to re-engage them inside of Messenger. And fifth, close the sale, either directly in Messenger or you can use the slow play that I just showed you. And these are the exact same 5 steps that I use to make sales in my online business, but I do have a secret weapon, and that secret weapon is Unipro. Unipro is an amazing tool that goes out onto Facebook. It finds your ideal leads and brings those leads over into your audience. It starts conversations for you. It engages on your leads' content. It helps nurture those leads and moves them towards making a purchase. Unipro has been a game changer for my business, and I know you're going to love it. That's what I've got for you in this video. If this video is helpful, give it a like. And if you have any questions about using Messenger to make sales, go ahead and leave those below. I'm happy to help out. And if you're building your business and your ideal leads are on Facebook, you got to check out Unipro. It's going to be such a game changer for you. Go over to unipro.com today. You're going to be blown away by what Unipro can do for your business. So thanks for checking out this video. Can't wait to see you in the next video.